one, yemra corruption. Now, to talk about the corruption, no, it is only proper say you have contextualizing so because na krumano and some no obi kind of sa tra keke so
so we need proper verification
kind of. In the first place, and then I'm going to go into so various governments corruption issues since 1992. Jerry Rawlings, you see Abacha cash be on some. You see a ton access be and a wife and a Miss Cotton. Jerry Rawlings 3 issues. Okay. President Akufo used state funds to renovate his private residence by our name Cocoa Farmer. Hotel Akufo, Ghana at 50. Castle kickback. Privatization of Ghana Telecom. KT Hammond drill ship. Osafuma for German saloon loans.
All of the under former
President Akufo and a bribery scandal. Missing diplomatic passport. Because it's important. You see, I can't try for the gift. President John Dramani Mahama. Sabi Onibi Kraninia Ibrahim. He said Ibrahim here. Me, I knew Ibrahim long ago before I got into active politics. Me, Shisha or London. No, Jinani Naiso. And to President Mahama, here, just so be back, bribe with Ford gifts. And I bribe Ben now, or J. Ford, no. I found coffee, I found Comania, I found Commander Bush and Nibia, or you found to pull him. And that Ford gift eventually was being used by the MPP. Musaya bribe.
But why don't you also think that, again, a journalist was pushing a particular agenda?
Oh, I'll come to that. But amount for an amount for said the absurdity of those charges. No, it's a Ford gift, a complete rubbish. No, complete nonsense. So we should throw it away into the dustbin. Victoria Hammer. Victoria Hammer then the just prayer. No dream. Minya $1 million beja. Politics heading. Me pack up and baby atra. President Mahama said no. I dream a war. Yes. Unya. Obit me a bibi. No yinedi. Look at the reaction. Okay. Bass branding. Fortunately, I was in the Flagstaff house that hot afternoon when my sister came. May her soul rest in peace. She was not the person directly involved in this, but because she was the minister in charge of the sector, she had to take responsibility. I was there when she signed the letter of resignation. Beyond that, there was a committee set up. The people paid back the money. Oh, yes, they paid back the money. So, what is it about Bass branding? The president took action. President Mahama took action.
The money was paid back.
Yes, it was paid back. See the excess, honestly, it was supposed to be so. The committee recommended, and they paid that money back. I was working in the Flagstaff house, so I know. So, what is the problem? He took action. Brazil, I think, but yes. Basically, the whole issue, it was about player rebellion. Okay, players rebelled. We had a crisis on our hands, and a lot of things happened. Ghanaians were not happy. First of all, I took responsibility. Because you're calling a BBI year, I will get the praise, and then the country will also be happy. So Uncle, and I took responsibility. I didn't run away from it. I said, look, it's even though there were issues that were not my fault. Yeah. But once you leave, you take responsibility. And then the president set up a commission. Now, a professor and a commission, which commission do you cover people in public?
Because you do
was it not live?
It was live.
Didn't you see?
We'll play some of the footage.
Live and colored. They were asking questions, throwing punches left, right, center.
I think at a point, Elvis was a bit emotional.
Yeah, I was. So and you would understand why. What I said. It was a public commission. Not just that, but I don't know what communication strategy informed that. You live in here, and you may yet hear news away prime time. You repeat.
And I say,
Anopa in the morning.
Live.
Me I say you repeat before the live session starts.
Which is not very consistent.
Me call bank be. Me call bank no. Me drew her now me train bank manager. Now for me, you live. So the people in the reception, they didn't know whether to be watching the TV or be looking at me.
Watching it. Really?
Yeah. What kind of communication strategy was that? Live, oh, they repeat at prime time.
No.
And you say it's a cover-up. Apart from that, forensic audit by an independent entity, Ernst & Young. We'll come to that. So, you know, Jida. Bro, you see, Ghana.
Jida Honsam, a
But you see, what people do not know, they say, where did it all start? This thing was NYEP,
National
Youth Employment Program. When we went to when I went to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the first briefing, the first briefing, na Jida no at the car, you know, some about 200 million Ghana cedis. So I wrote a report to cabinet. Said this is what is. Cabinet took a decision. So we should go into the Jida matter. But cabinet chaired by His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. So as a minister, I wrote a memo to the Chief of Staff what we should do. An independent committee was set up. That committee, and a review. So ours was to review and restructure. So how can you come and meet a problem? You review and restructure. And now what did we do in the review and restructure? First of all, now Akufo at the proposals bar. A very unsolicited proposal. Okay. There were no guidelines. And the cost near the you said no, going forward, no. There must no longer be unsolicited proposals. The Jida must identify areas on person no more putting in place structures and systems and mechanisms. And two person apply, you follow those. It was there. Two, the Jida didn't have any source of funding. That's where a tax system was designed. There will be consistent financing for the project. Thirdly, companies are who say now you overpay or more and as processes and procedures no move through no. We stopped them and we surcharged them and they paid, they refunded the money.
Hey. Then Elvis, I'm to break the news. Ghanaians don't know this.
Yeah.
So with that not be said, as a journalist, I would say it comes on the back of lack of communication, effective communication to Ghanaians from the government.
Because don't forget, at that time, no. Now me, I may find when the issues were coming, yes, no. Me, I myself, I was going through my own crisis. Now the people who were doing that, they didn't think. You see, because they didn't realize, and I'm not talking about the genuine commission and investigation, but those who were behind doing all this things, because they didn't know.
This is information. Issues are the campaign.
Exactly.
2020 election. I know too much on this.
Jida, how can you accuse President Mahama of anything? You know,
it was a Obi Kasa. Okay, the governing party MPP. Why wouldn't you prosecute Mahama on the basis of this?
You can't. There's nothing. He rather fixed it. I was the minister. He asked me to do it. We fixed the system. The report is there. When I'm coming tomorrow, I'll bring you the World Cup report. We'll look for the Jida report. That Jida report, find out from the Civil Society Coalition on Corruption what they think about that Jida report. They say this is very good because we brought independent people, genuine, sincere. So these are facts there. Jida, we investigated Jida, made companies pay back money to the states, banned some of them. The records are there. You know, DKM. I don't even want to talk about it. Said and then
your president suffered under DKM.
And we all know it was
President Mahama suffered under
and
DKM.
we all know today that it was complete fabrication. So me, I've dedicated myself. Say, I don't know almost me better every time say, as far as I'm alive, this campaign, whether post or no post, and everybody should hear this. If you're a former minister, former appointee, former DC, you have facts, your sector, things happen. Go and talk to Ghanaians. Let people know. Because in Toronto also, I tell you, I mean, who dream? I mean, like, why do we allow all these things to go on? You know, and when we come to other sectors, you will see near this corruption. You want to buff us with corruption? Are you for real? You know, then the Neokumi Krane, you opposite I confirm to Burkina Faso. Do you know that thing was a complete fabrication? And the journalist who did that, he admitted, so he was just a slight comment.
But slight comments, but then one effective communication.
Oh, even last week, I'm here. Say confirm to Burkina Faso. I confirm it to me 2 years.
No, I want to enquire Aza.
It was just a fabrication.
I've lived in the north. I know how.
You know, it was just a fabrication. You know, but saying confirm to Burkina saying, how is that possible? So we have said these were the issues under Jomama 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say okay. Now. Nanado, who
I can figure say when you have 100 plus. Yes, I have this report.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
PDS. Cocoa audit. Kroll Associates.
Now Mubusi
Just bro. You know.
Yes, we'll do this expose in the coming day because a door.
I was set with the two screen.
And the money that's involved because I have this.
You have to roll it on the screen. What I say?
Yeah.
For people to see.
The huge money
you know,
in it.
$12 million worth of fertilizer for planting for food jobs.
Yeah.
Fertilizers, you know, took minister no see there. 12 million Oslo Consular deal.
Yeah.
Sole source contract for blood distribution, 12.5 million. 3.9 million to buy condoms. Even municipal assembly, Sikaira, 14 million blown by Ministry of Tourism capacity building. 2-bedroom resident renovated at 1 million cedis by Ghana Maritime Authority boss, Kwame Usu. Then from there, they promoted him to become board chairman for GRA. Just you can go on and on and on and on. 600,000 liters of boss contaminated fuel. You know, what is this? What is this?
And many of them have not received any
GMPC buys $7.5 million property from CEO's former company, insider trading. You know, Forestry Commission. A train you be who says, John, I'm in funny currency. Assassinating in our William man. What was the brofono you say? To me and my wine forever and ever.
Achimota Forest.
It's a disaster. It's a ufa baby. Just a millions, $89 million Kelly GVG contract. You know, Ghana loses $1 million in undervalue Metro bus sales. You know, Pius Ajit visa racketeering. Big scandal. And yet, even before they even bring the report, now president was sitting what I say, you can go on and on and on and on and on and on. It's all here. It is crazy. So far, the last count, it's about 102 scandals.
Yes.
So it's like 1 week, one scandal. 1 week, one scandal. By the time I'm scandal back home, because you know, another one. This government is the most corrupt government in the history of this country. We have to tell them. This government is the most corrupt government in the history of this country. If you want to know, Akufo-Addo said he was appointing a special prosecutor, right? Martin Amidu, no nonsense man, the mother serpent of corruption. So how can you talk about state of the corruption in the State of the Nation address? That is why this government must not stay one more day. They've stolen and stolen and stolen and stolen and stolen and stolen and stolen the plates that we're even eating. It's too much. It's like they don't care. You know, they don't have any conscience. You are stealing and also a dry account. Stealing with contempt. Come and steal and hide the poor. Now, bro, what's here? You are stealing and treating the country with arrogance. So this government must leave. They are a disaster. So that's on corruption. This is on corruption. Unemployment. At the time, I be fear them. Unemployment. One association. Now the level of unemployment according to Ghana Statistical Service was 8.6%. Today, the unemployment rate is 8.6%. Today, the unemployment rate is 14.7%. So look at the total population of Ghana. Now, over millions of the youth, they are unemployed. What is the president doing about unemployment? Because it's a security threat.
Yeah.
When Timi and Kanwa, some state of the nation, the youth are the future of this country. So if you have a population where over 3 million of them are walking around unemployed, what do you think?
A national security threat.
National security threat. And the president, you won't say anything about it because you know that you have failed. You don't have any NAPCO for in Chiomoka. Why you start all those things or so that is another issue that we need to learn. Then Galamsey, or see he will put his presidency on the line.
On the line, yeah.
What is the state of Galamsey? You see, Madam John Boyd was the party in Yeska. Galamsey men is now Kosono. And you be MPP party for and no much the so-called community mining, and they are more and no more here with impunity. And you see, the danger of the Galamsey is this country has no future. Your water bodies near ecosystem now, you want to. Nyankopon bo biodiversity or born sebeya ensure no ebe boama eniema efifi ne ade nyina say medically it's been proven say omo those serious na e ma ne ko wo a enkwala ne e deformed and a kidney disease ne ade aye is on the ascendancy in all those places. So what I say. And the Galamsey no ye major is also another national security issue.
Threats.
Professor Frank Pomboatimbe can say people in government and top people in the Flagstaff House are involved in the Galamsey.
Hey, Prof. Barbonteno.
Oh, then because we know what is going on. We know what is going on in the various regions and districts. The various task forces. Now, a friend saying, excavators square to me to ya. Excavators, it's untenable. It's unacceptable. You look at the state of the drinking water.
Yeah.
And you want this government to continue to stay? How? No. The country needs a fresh start. So, you see, democracy was designed in such a manner, say, Oba 4 years. Okay, maybe people are not sure. Another 4 years. After 8 years, particularly with this performance, the country, on mine and spiritually, metaphysically, psychologically, politically, economically, socially, needs a change. We need that renewal, that a new president, John Dramani Mahama, will come with a new team. All Bano, Onim say, Ghana for Ewenidaso, Ewa Rishim, Ewenimo. He also wants to, because he's been president before and he lost. So he also wants to prove to Ghanaians, say, me buy, and near man, I'm a shas, I'm one to Maseno. I feel the mayor pa mamu. So he's thinking of his legacy. So obey ye near Sabe obiti making impacts. O free no correct time and to be able to need impact. It's a disaster. So I mentioned the free SHS. Okay, and numbers of people. Your sister station, your colleague, Joy from Fire, a documentary. The Minister of Education, the PRO.
Documentary name a letter to that effect.
Now, President Nankasoko Wegehi, there's head girl and the head mistress. Well, tell it, away and near my anymore near camp. You can't, hey, President Mahama can't review. I'm saying you're so betrayed. And then you see that the reality has caught up with that. IMF, World Bank, haven't they said that we should review? So if does it not show that President Mahama was forward thinking?
The chickens back.
I've come home to roost. Oh, giddy. And I dear no, and yet akoma pa say be a pegana ye nom de to score political points. It's a no mo ye ni biara. shed the way and Kolane bread. If you listen to the interviews, and we know already, those of us who are friends, who are wards in schools, and Kolane yare no mo yare, it's a mess, it's a disaster. Let's review this thing or review a couple of years ago and come by now, no? I mean, there are people who can pay.
Yeah. Parents can pay.
Can pay. Those who can pay, let them pay. If even it's 30% to put that money, you can do something. Hey, you see where it has ended us? And you are endangering the lives of Nkolano. Oh, we have to vote out this government and have a reasonable government. Now, energy sector, Doomso. You know, this.
Of course, my guest, we've made about 41 minutes gone past the hour 9. My guest, Elvis Afriyie Ankrah, is giving us the whole chronicle of events under the leadership of His Excellency Akufo-Addo, and many issues coming now. Currently, the recent soon and the State of the Nation address delivered by President. The President is giving punching angles to it. And now Elvis says no. The governing party MPP should not be allowed to, do a comeback. But here we hear the MPP say, at all costs, break the eight, and they really want to break the eight.
Well, they want to break the country.
Breaking the eight, What would that break the eight? And what will go into the break the eight? Yes, Elvis. This energy sector.
Energy sector now.
And Ramida Sumupa Miami feel good.
NDC for us here, sorry. I'm guilty of that. Sir, modesty in political communication, it doesn't bring results.
And bring results, yeah.
You see, if we were in a linear world, to a linear audience, too much. But we're in a competitive world.
Yeah.
Your opponent so you have a duty and a responsibility to let the opponents know and let Ghanaians know the facts. Now, this is contributions to the energy sector in Ghana since independence. Government, number of years in office and percentage megawatts. Osajefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, 9 years. He contributed 25% to the energy sector in Ghana. J.J. Rawlings, 18 years. He contributed 17%. President Kufuor, 8 years. He contributed 2%. Okay, I said, Mills, 3.5 years. He contributed 12%. John Dramani Mahama, 4.5 years, he contributed 44%.
I want to understand this.
Akufo-Addo, 7 years, 0%. Mills and Mahama added 56% to our generation capacity. Ode Rawlings 17%. It means that NDC added 73% to our power generation. Akufo-Addo, none. So. You see, and we must have confidence. These are facts, I'll give it to you. These are facts. Osha Ghana since independence.
Yeah.
Energy, power generation, NDC has contributed 73%. President Mahama, 4.5 years, 44%. So how dare anybody come? And I heard Akufo-Addo talking. Then the former deputy minister, my own friend Japamesa, or say what he was trying to say was that adding to the grid is not important, and that they have managed the system better. They have managed the energy sector better.